classmates and opposing side. My name is Cooper Tolan, and today, along with my partner Alex Schneider, I will be debating on behalf of the negative side in this 22nd annual interclass debate. Our resolution today states resolve that all public secondary schools should devise and enact a plan to make condoms readily available to its students. We as the negative are firmly opposed to this resolution and feel that it would both be incredibly impractical and undesirable for public schools to enact such a policy. As my partner Alec previously told you, our 3 points as to why we are so vehemently opposed to such an idea are as such. 1, that condoms are already easily accessible for teens. 2, that currently teens are not educated on what condoms actually protect them from or how to use them. And the third and most important point, that the role of public secondary schools is to educate students, not to provide them with condoms or other medical supplies. Before I continue, I would like to quickly remind you all what we are debating today. We are not debating the effectiveness of condoms. We are not debating the effectiveness of condoms to prevent STDs or pregnancy. Nor are we debating the tendency of teens to engage in sexual activities. We are here today to debate whether or not all public schools in the United States should make condoms readily available for their students. With that in mind, please consider the following. Schools are not clinics, schools are not hospitals, and schools are not pharmacies. All the places I just listed are appropriate facilities to distribute condoms. However, schools most certainly are not. A perfect example of an appropriate place for condoms would be Planned Parenthood, a clinic where anyone can go to receive condoms, birth control, and even abortions for little to no cost. On the Planned Parenthood website, the mission statement is as follows. Our mission is to actively promote family planning and healthy, responsible, reproductive, and sexual behavior through the provision of high-quality, comprehensive educational, counseling, medical, and referral services. Now, this makes perfect sense for a medical clinic. They offer a variety of medical services to their patrons, as any good medical facility should. On the other hand, let's take a look at the mission statement of our very own Upper Dublin High School, a model example of the United States public secondary school system. As listed on the township website, udsc.org, the statement reads, the mission of the school district of Upper Dublin is to provide a safe, supportive environment for all students to become lifelong learners and contributing members of a changing society. You will notice that nowhere in Upper Dublin's mission statement do the words provide medical services appear, like in the statement of Planned Parenthood. The purpose of schools is not to provide health care to students, which is not appropriate in a learning environment and compromises the integrity of the entire system. This point inspired us to create a counterplan that we feel would be much more effective and efficient than the affirmatives. As I said, the sole purpose of public schools, as defined in the dictionary, is an institution for educating children. So why not let them educate them? Our counterplan calls for a much more substantial sexual education program that would be taught in all public secondary schools. Unlike the current program, which for many states teaches abstinence and abstinence only, our program would be a comprehensive course designed to educate students about all aspects of sexual intercourse and the many dangers and responsibilities that come with it. In the current system, only 37 states require sexual education classes, and out of those 37, 26 require that the course teach abstinence and abstinence only. And out of those 37, only 6 are medically accurate with current studies. Many states do not have a requirement at all for sexual education, and this leaves students totally unprepared to engage in sexual intercourse. Our program will teach students not only the risks of all types of sexual activity, including oral, anal, and vaginal, but educate homosexual children as well as heterosexual students. The curriculum will teach students how to effectively prevent sexually transmitted diseases in all kinds of sexual activity, and how to correctly use contraceptives in all these situations as well. The program would also teach students where they can get these contraceptives, such as clinics like Planned Parenthood, or at pharmacies like CVS or Walgreens. The curriculum would be based off of scientific and medical facts, and would be based on the principle of education and exposure, rather than covering up the truth with abstinence only. To prove to you the effectiveness of our program, I would like to bring up statistics, if I may. According to the CDC, or the Center for Disease Control, and several other studies, comprehensive sexual education programs do not increase rates of sexual initiation, lower the age at which kids initiate, nor do they increase the frequency that teens engage in sexual activities. In fact, according to these same studies, comprehensive programs actually decrease the number of sexual partners teens have, the frequency of which they have sex, the number of teens who engage in unprotected sex, and, conversely, the number of teens who contract STDs has also decreased in schools that utilize comprehensive sexual education programs. Also, according to Columbia University, abstinence-only or virginity pledge programs actually increase its students' risk of contracting an STD. And that 88% of students in these programs engage in sexual intercourse before marriage, oftentimes without utilizing contraceptives. We at the Negative believe that schools have a duty to educate their students about the dangers of unprotected sex, as well as how to prevent these dangers. However, we are firmly against the thought that schools should be giving condoms to their students, as this is not appropriate for their purpose and role. If the students are educated about the dangers of unprotected sex and STDs, provided with education about where they can go to get these and what they can do to prevent this, they will go get it. We just have to show them how and why they need to, and they will listen. As the ancient Chinese proverb states, give a man a fish and feed him for a day, teach a man a fish and feed him for a lifetime. Just giving kids condoms isn't going to help them if they don't know why or how they should use them. It just prolongs the problem. Maybe they use them once or twice, but what happens when they decide they just don't think they need to because they never learned otherwise? So in conclusion, I would like to leave you with my own Chinese proverb. Give a man a condom and keep him STD free for a day. Teach a man about condoms and keep him STD free for a lifetime. That's our goal, to keep kids STD free for their entire lives. Because what's the good if kids go through high school and don't get STDs, but then they go to college and immediately contract them? The whole point is wasted, and so is the young person's life. Vote for education and prevention. Vote Negative. Thank you.